Capital One knows life doesn't alert you about your credit card.
Next stop, Graham Street. And Brian in the khaki shorts. Your G&L energy bill went up 60% this month. Seems like you'd want to know. Stand clear of the closing doors.
So, meet Eno, the Capital One assistant that catches things that might look wrong, like increases to a recurring bill, then sends an alert to your phone and helps you fix it. Eno, another way Capital One is watching out for your money when you're not. Capital One, what's in your wallet? See CapitalOne.com for details. Limitations apply.
Right now, you can get both Sprint's unlimited plan and the all-new Samsung Galaxy S10 included for just $35 per month per line for 5 lines. All you need is approved credit and an 18-month lease. No trade-in required. Visit a Sprint store, sprint.com, or call 800-SPRINT-1.
Phone $15 a month after $22.50 a month. Credit apply within 2 bills. If canceled earlier, main balance due. Unlimited basic after 6/30/20. Pay $32 per month per line for 5 lines with auto pay. Data deprioritization during congestion. Speed maximums. Use rules and restrictions apply.
Hi there, this is Jim, the Keys bartender, coming to you from, where are we? In
We
Key
are in
Largo, or
Key
where
Largo.
are we exactly? I'm here with Jenna Kelly. This is Jim, the Keys bartender, once again.
Hello,
It's episode
everyone.
154.
Episode 154.
Gargoyle. Gargoyles were on the cathedrals, medieval cathedrals. Oh, shit, that's a lot of beer.
Yeah, well, but my husband just got back from grocery shopping, and he's loading up the beer fridge.
Oh, okay. Well, guy knows his priorities.
Yes. So I just Googled a gargoyle. And, they're not, actually live. It's just an architecture term. So it's a gargoyle is a carved or formed grotesque with a spout designed to convey water from a roof and away from the side of a building.
Yeah, it's interesting that they look like demons, and they put them on the edges of churches.
And they all sit with their front feet in between their back feet, in kind of like a squatted position. Mm-hmm. But they're
like
creepy.
A dog. Like a German
dog.
Shepherd or
but
a Doberman.
With horrible, scary faces, with big teeth, big ears, and water protruding from their mouth. Because the design was it was like gutters. They're gargoyle gutters. And all the water in the buildings, it shoots out their mouth.
Yep, that makes sense.
That's kind of cool. Anyway, so you're gargoyles.
Yeah, we're gargoyles. So last night I'm working, and these women come in, and it had slowed down. Our peak is especially on a Monday. It's between 6:30 and 8:30, and right around 8:45, these 2 women come in. The older woman's around my age. And this other one, she looked like she could be a girl 12 years old or a woman that's 40. It looked like her elbows bent the opposite direction. She was walking around. They had weird, otherworldly faces about them, kind of flushed, like
very, very pale?
No,
like
pale and then flushed.
Okay.
Like burnt a little.
Oh.
And they were looking around like they were in an alien environment. And my coworkers are looking at them, and they're like, "Oh, please go to a bar, please go to a bar, please go to a bar." And they just walk through the restaurant and out the front door. They come in the back and they go out the front door. So I just saw them, and it just kind of freaked me out a little just seeing them.
Yeah, what the heck were
about
they doing
15 minutes later, they come back. Now, I told you the woman looked kind of young.
Yeah, but you didn't know.
The other lady come in and she goes, "Oh, I'm here." And I'm like, they're freaking me out still. And if it was late at night and I was by myself, I told, did I ever tell you about my thing for freaky women? It just scares the hell out of me.
No.
Crazy women scare the shit out of me.
Well, most of us are crazy.
No, crazy.
But the
real
ones
crazy.
that are like...
I'm not crazy that goes off and yells and burns all your fucking clothes and slashes your tires. Crazy. I mean, crazy like they fucking, like if you fell asleep, they'd be eating your spleen when you wake up.
Oh.
You know what I mean? They look like that. So they come up to the bar, and I'm looking at the other little one, and she just had this furtive look. I'm sloping forward, but she's walking around. Hands are kind of hanging. The elbows are pointing in a different direction and stuff like that, like sideways. And walking around. They're wearing kind of like a pseudo cocktail dress, though Key Largo is not a cocktail dress town.
No.
It's a Monday night. And I go, they order drinks, and they order it in a way like if an alien was told how to order a drink. I'll have a Coca-Cola. and Seagram's. And I go, Seagram's has, I wanted to tell her, Seagram's has a gin, has a rum, has a vodka. So Seagram's like 7, Seagram's VO. And we did, some places do use Seagram's liquors. And she goes, 7. And I'm like, okay, you got that right, whatever planet you're from. And then the other one goes, the one that looks real young goes and says, and she's asking me, and I still can't tell when she's talking if she's 12 or 30.
Right.
And she goes, I'll have a Coke. And I'm just staring off, and she's just dead-eyed. And Maker's Mark. And I'm like, first of all, why the fuck you put Coke in Maker's Mark? Is it decent bourbon? And the better the bourbon, the less you should mix shit in, especially flavored stuff. And they go, well, I'm going to have to see some ID. And the lady goes, it's my son's, the older one says, it's my son's girlfriend. She's 30 years old. And I said, oh, okay. Can I see your ID? I don't have an ID. And I go like, oh, if you're going to walk around with a fucking, looking like a gargoyle in a cocktail dress, haunting fucking places. It's like in the middle of the night, if they stopped and they walked up to my car, I would have screamed like a little girl. Roll up the window. Oh, no, I did the roll-up thing. Who has a roll-up window anymore?
I do in my truck.
Okay, and I would have fucking sped off screaming like a little girl. I really would. They just freaked me out. And they just left, and I was like, holy shit.
What the
There's some weirdos that come in. And you know what? I've had people, heroin addicts, come in and fall asleep, just go, hey, man, I like to get a Bud Light. And then, what's in? 114. I'm like, they fucking fall asleep when they order a thing, and the head goes on the bar.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's just the way it is. But when you're the crazy, they just got me. They just came in and blew into town. And I go like this, when the fuck did the carnival make it in this town? They were beyond corny.
Well,
they were beyond corny.
Are usually like bad teeth hygiene, right? Typically, because they're so transient.
Itinerant, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because they don't really have regular places to live and shower and take care of
themselves. These
themselves.
people were
they travel all the time.
beyond corny. They were like alien type. The way
maybe they're from the freak show part of the county or that county.
No, freak show part of the county is right.
There were a buddy of mine. His father owned a flower shop in Philadelphia.
Did they have beautiful flowers?
They had beautiful flowers. Beautiful flowers. Beautiful flowers. Oh, were you here for that?
I was just teasing
when Maria
her.
said that? You heard that? My thing.
Oh, she always says that to everyone.
No, but she came in. She came in. This woman comes in, Maria, and she goes, beautiful flowers for beautiful women. Beautiful women. You want the flowers for your women?
And then she sneezes so loud.
And right at the end, I go, holy shit, do you have a flower allergy? And I looked off to the side. That would be ironic. And I go like this. I go, wow, that was mean. And I go, did she get it, Jenna? Because it just blurred out mean.
Right.
And,
too bad you're allergic to your flowers.
Yeah, you're allergic to your own flowers.
Beautiful flower.
Like one of those hoarders that are allergic to cats. Where are all my dead cats? They're all behind these newspapers and stuff like that. I can't let go of this newspaper because it has my favorite article from Dear Abby.
And my dead cat is on
it. And dead cat's behind it. It was chewing on a rat. What do you mean it's unsafe? No, but what the fuck? Yeah. The weirdos come in, and then what was that? In Philadelphia, flower shop. I'm dropping my buddy off at his family's house. We were drinking all night. Then all of a sudden, I see this recombinant bike, but it was head-first bike. I never seen that. Someone's pedaling with their hands.
Oh, yeah, I've seen those all the time.
Were they going head first?
Yeah.
Were they going head first?
Mm-hmm.
Not ass.
Yeah, no, I've seen the head first. Yeah.
It was a pinhead.
It was a pinhead?
It was a pinhead on a bike going forward. And he goes, and my buddy goes, oh, that's what he does at 3 o'clock in the morning. And they go, why does he do it at 3 o'clock? Because no one bothers him. I said, shit, yeah, no one's going to bother a pinhead on a bike going.
You know what makes me think of Beetlejuice when he was in the waiting room and he sat next to the pinhead guy and then he stole his number?
Oh, I thought you meant Beetlejuice.
Funny.
Beetlejuice from Howard Stern was a pinhead. Beetlejuice himself from Howard Stern was a pinhead. And you said, yeah.
Really? That's funny.
I saw him at Great Adventure, and I don't mean to make fun of Freaks. There's a movie called Freaks from the 1930s. If you have the opportunity to see it, it's in black and white. Yeah. I swear to God, the cinematography, except for the black and white, it would appear as like the Night of the Living Dead kind of quality that was made in the late 60s. But this was made in the late 30s.
I find that stuff really fascinating.
And the quality of it, and they used real pinheads in it.
Yeah. Like
they had a guy, a black dude who was made up like a pirate, and he had no arms and leg, and he was just wrapped up in a potato sack. And he just wiggle around.
It's crazy.
Wiggle around. And they didn't have special effects. They just used real freaks. Real little people.
Yeah.
Real pinheads.
They had, of course, the bearded ladies, which have, what is it called? Like hypo...
Yeah, it's like lycanthropy.
Gosh, I can't remember.
Is that lycanthropy? When you have, lycanthropy is when you have all the facial hair. You look like a werewolf.
Yeah, but that's like the bearded ladies with that same type of thing.
What, did you see The Greatest Showman?
No, I've never seen that.
That bearded woman was the best singer.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. She was an awesome singer in that.
Did
you see it? The Greatest Showman?
No.
Or
you know what? I love my show tunes. I swear to God. You know what? I'm 55 years old. I can admit it. I love musicals.
I do too.
You know? Like My Fair Lady?
Man, My Fair Lady. I don't think I've seen that one.
Oh my God!
But
I
love like Singing in the Rain. That's just.
I know.
Awesome,
my friends in Philadelphia are going to bust my balls about that shit and stuff like that.
Well,
I don't give a shit. I mean, at a certain age, you go saying, "I love a good musical."
But getting back to the Freaks, though, it's hilarious because, of course, I have identical twins. So, of course, when I see they're
not freaks. They're freaks.
No.
In the normal way.
Well, they're
like super freaky.
They're a little
like
weird,
what's his name said that song.
But
Rick James. They're super freaks.
They're super freaks. Well,
I got a party. Rick James, you don't know? Super freak?
Super freak.
Super freak. That girl's a super freak. Whoa, whoa.
But I like watching the old freak show things about the Siamese Twins because a lot of them were like actually barely even hooked together or not even. They would just like take a
Didn't
set
Tyler
of twins.
talk about that last week about the two guys?
Well, but we didn't really get into that. But it was really funny because
did you mention that?
There is a video.
Someone mentioned it.
We talked about it.
No. Siamese Twins?
Yeah, the Siamese Twins.
Uh-huh.
So
I listened to you, Tyler.
But
I listened.
The basic thing was like this YouTube video of these identical twins laying in this bed. That, of course, they were supposed to be like the Siamese twins laying in the bed. And the one guy was like, I can't reach. You have to do it. And the other guy's doing it for him. And he's having this whole conversation about these conjoined twins that one of them has to basically jerk the other one off, right? And then her dad yells, "Stop playing Siamese Twins!" And then they both get up and walk away separately.
Oh, that is freaky.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
No, because it's brothers.
But you're right. It's
There's
brothers.
nothing wrong with the sexuality in it, but
no,
there isn't.
Well, okay, my twins are mirror twins.
No. What I mean is because they're related. The wrongness is in, but then again, I don't know. Maybe
is that one brother is
maybe he's just helping a brother out.
It's helping a
brother
out.
There's no way. There's no taboo. The taboo developed with family because of the high instance of birth defects, right?
Well, I think the Siamese twin thing is identical twins always that didn't quite separate all the way.
No, what I'm saying is why siblings should not.
Oh, like mess with each other?
Yeah,
well,
because of the because of the chances of high incidence of birth defects.
Of course, well, that's why the royals.
But once it can't occur. I mean, are we really kind of closed about that? Is it kind of ridiculous?
If you have siblings of the same sex, I don't really think that's a factor. But of course,
that's what I meant.
But the royals have had problems with that for years.
Well, because they had a
wanted to
limited
keep
gene
things
pool.
Right. So of course,
there was a very shallow gene pool.
King Tut had horrible birth defects because they figured that his parents were siblings, brother and sister.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What was his birth defect?
He was actually extremely short, had a deformity in his spine, had one leg that was shorter than the other. And of course, because they found his tomb, so they could actually, analyze
which is
all
uncommon.
of that. Right. But he was
I was playing
messed
words.
up.
I was saying Tutankhamun.
But the it's just uncommon, Tutankhamun. And then there was another set of royals that had like the real pronounced chins, like a
the Habsburgs. They called it the Habsburg chin.
The Habsburgs?
It was called the Habsburg chin.
Yeah.
Well, that's from my geeky history major
Yes.
years. I know that it's called the Habsburg chin. They just intermarried, and they inbred the ugliness into the royal.
And the chins got
he's
bigger and bigger.
And every so often they would just say, "We're going to have to make new royal people.
Right.
We're going to have to just
Because-
hey, go like you find some attractive people out there. Hey, you ever wanted to be a prince?" You know, and go like that and go, we got it. I mean, it's not. I think they just figured it out. They figured it out because they kept records and say, you know what, when you marry your cousins and stuff like that, it just doesn't look so good.
I don't think they figured it out until Queen Elizabeth figured it out because she allows her children.
What they should have started doing. That's where you should. And this is going to piss off someone. It's controversial.
Okay, we're not pissing off anyone.
I'm going to piss them off. Race mixing right away. Because they say if the kid's black and the girl's Chinese or white and stuff like that, chances are they're not 100% brother and sister and stuff like that. Automatic, yes, go ahead. But if they look close, you know, and you know what? The offspring's usually freaking incredible.
Huh?
You know, white guy, black girl, Chinese, European, all that stuff. The mix is, and then you have a less chance of having that closely related gene. And then because there's Tay-Sachs was from the Ashkenazi Jews. Tay-Sachs, the Jewish hereditary disease, or sickle cell. Sickle cell is African American. So when you mix it with someone who has less of those traits, and race, I told you my theory on race. Race is purely a sociological construct because it doesn't really. They're not different. There's no different because all the mating can occur.
Right.
So it doesn't matter if you're Aborigine or on there. It doesn't. I mean, even with Neanderthal, because there's a lot of Neanderthal out there and stuff like that. But
still,
there is a lot. Oh, it's in our line. It's in our line. Get some guys that are kind of wide-shouldered and stuff like that, and they got some heavy eyebrows. A little Neanderthal, a little more Cro-Magnon. You got a lot of hair on your ass. You may have some more Cro-Magnon going on. Yeah. And I heard another thing. It says like the more bald someone is, the higher levels of testosterone they have. That sounds like made-up bullshit by bald people.
Right? Like bald people are like, yeah, well, we have bigger dicks. We don't have any hair.
We got bigger balls, hairier balls. Our hairy balls dictate the level of hair on our head.
I do find it funny, though, that a lot of times you see like someone that is bald or horribly balding has so much body hair. It's down their backs and their chest and their everything. It's like they fell off their head and landed on their shoulders and went all the way down. They're so hairy.
That happened in my family. My father is...
Your father's balding?
My father bald. I had it on my mother's side, too.
But you're not bald at all.
And my brother was taking all the stuff.
Oh, to prevent it?
He took all this stuff, and I'm thinking, I was ready. I was prepared for it because I was watching my dad. And I just said, you know what? As long as you're ready. The worst thing in the world is the best thing in the world is if you're ready for it. The worst thing is if you're not ready for it. I had a buddy, Vince, in high school. He was on his way to 70-year-old Benjamin Franklin when he was a junior. And he was keeping his hair long. And I go, man, it's not
with the
working.
flip over.
No, he didn't do the flip over.
No.
Just kept it back.
Just kept it back.
Kept it back and go like that. And they call him Benjamin Franklin.
Jeez. But see, now if a woman goes bald, it's technically... like it's a medical.
It's a pyorrhea.
It's alopecia totalis, right? So like if a woman goes bald,
the hairless all over.
It's I don't know.
Because they should be like that's a good.
But
thing.
alopecia, I would think because if
I bet that was a thing that people say. Wait, you lost all your hair, and then all of a sudden they say, oh, that's an interesting look down there. I think I like it. It's a lot more personality. When you look through that.
But if a woman goes bald,
it didn't look like a shag rug. It looked like someone just threw it. Oh, do you have a squirrel? That just tells you a little party about it. Hey, you don't know the '80s guys, man. If you're 55, holy crap!
It was like
going into the Amazon. I'm listening to me. You're not listening to me. It was bad.
He's looking at
there
one
was
of my
sometimes that you see the
22-year-old sons
bikini,
right now.
and there'd be tufts of it coming out of the sides of the bikinis. You go looking in there. Yeah, they were big, and then some of them decided to shave and then start not shave. Then it got even worse.
No.
But I guess it protects you from something.
I don't know if I agree with that.
I think it's a vestigial remnant, right?
I would, like...
Is it a vestigial remnant? Well, because the hair on the rest of her body kind of, I think on the rest of her body kind of wears off from wearing of clothes.
I saw something on the Graham Norton show where they talked about how women, Jim is refilling. So on Graham Norton, they were talking about how you would, the women back in the day, they have a bush, right? But if you could, now of course Europe is more advanced or more progressive. I shouldn't say not advanced, but progressive than we are. So if you have a naked woman who has a bush, you can publish that picture. But if she has no bush and all of everything is exposed, then you cannot publish that. It gives you different ratings. So it would rate you as like a rating number 3 on the censorship scale that they have if there's a bush covering the genitals. But if there is no bush covering that genitals, it goes up to like a number 9, and you can not release some of those images or videos in Europe. So it's like it's cover. It counts as their cover, but
a bush doesn't cover much.
Well, I mean.
It does. It does. So, you
does,
ever meet a Greek woman?
Maybe from a top, but. Like, I know guys love to trim because it makes it look bigger.
I do. Hey. I mean, a little too much information. But
Jim
you know
likes
it's
to trim?
hot down here, too. And there's a lot to be said to not having a sweaty private area when you're working 13 hours.
But that's the interesting point, is it's actually proven that a shaved region sweats more.
It does?
Yes.
But I thought that the hair would trap in the sweat and bacteria closely.
It does not. They're used much like
an eyebrow.
An eyebrow, where think of it like the fins on a radiator.
Yeah.
Each one of those pubic hairs actually is acting like a cooling fan.
And it's also keeping your.
Oh, I see. When you say when it gets wet, the evaporation process slows it down.
It keeps it from
the
moist
channeling of air to keep the region
right.
cool.
Think about if you were to have a bush and wear tight underwear, and you have no bush and you wear tight underwear. Then if you have a bush and you wear tight underwear, it's not right. It's not up against your skin.
There is no air barrier.
And it's sometimes I've seen those girls when they have the loose panties and stuff like that when we're getting intimate and stuff like that. And I'd see something pushing up, and I say, You're going to have to check my teeth later on.
So it's best.
You know what I mean? You don't want hair in your teeth.
To trim, not shave.
Yes, it is best to trim.
You can manscape.
Too late. Too late.
Big razor plug right here.
Too late. Too late right now. Oh man, I didn't know that. I just thought it kept myself clean.
But Jim, do you wax or do you?
No. Holy shit. We have an animal.
You never know.
You know what? It's actually from spinning and all that stuff because of the high revolutions and stuff like that.
Jim teaches his spin class.
Yeah.
Right. If you're going to be a cyclist or you do spin or something like that, it can be incredibly uncomfortable, and I would understand the shaving.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm not going to say I just did that for that stuff because that would be ingenuine. Part of the thing that makes I appeal to people is I'm going to be as truthful as possible.
Brutal.
And I started removing some of definitely here.
Armpits. He's pointing to his armpits.
For some reason, at the end of the day, when Damon, when you said that, it makes perfect sense to me, and I buy it because you said it very lucid and very sincere, so I buy it. But I feel cleaner with not having it.
Well,
I do the pits and all that stuff. I do, and it makes me less warm. It makes me less.
It's an illusion because you're sweating.
Yeah.
So, being brutally honest,
right?
I've actually had a laser treatment done.
Yes.
Because you folks on the web and podcasts can't see me, I'm not an abnormally hairy fellow. It all seemed to settle in certain areas of my body. And I just found it to be incredibly not
I swear to God, if I could get it removed if it would stop growing here.
Your face.
I'm not a facial
I've
hair.
been trying to grow a beard for 35 years.
But his bush is insane.
I'm from the 80s.
Yeah.
So I've had a laser treatment done.
Yeah.
Aside from it being the single most uncomfortable thing in my life, and now 10 years later, the fact that every quarter, because your hair grows in cycles, it's quarterly, by the way.
Wait, explain this. This is good. I never heard this one.
Your hair follicles, have you ever looked at an actual pore of your body and seen two hairs coming out of the same pore? That's because you're in the transition of a cycle. So your hair is quarterly. It's grown. Do you
use an electric razor or a electric razor?
Mikey is saying that he uses an electric razor.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
But so your hair grows quarterly. So that's why if you've ever investigated a laser treatment of sorts, they tell you it's 6 to 7 visits because they have to catch all of the hair. But it takes an entire year to do so because you have to let all of those follicles grow out so that they can zap it and kill it before the hair is gone.
So what you're saying is that when you got yours...
Every 4th month,
right,
I'm less hairy because I only went one time.
Oh.
So I go from looking like Sasquatch 3/4 of the year to... Hey,
I'm wrapping my head around this. I get it. Okay, so the time on the cycle when they killed that follicle or that follicle,
that's
done.
Is dead for 3 months out of the year. So your hair comes and goes. So you'll never. It's not like you're bald for 3 months and then it grows all back.
Yeah.
Right.
Because as they fall out, each individual follicle is quarterly.
When I grew up, when I was living up north, and you had to wear long pants all the time, and I did a lot of walking. The hair on the back of my
on your calves,
and where the socks went, they would just disappear just from abrasion. And right here, if you see here, there's no hair here. That's because when I work at, I'm changing
pointing
the
at his
kegs,
knee, by the way.
I got to get on my knees, right? And I'm on those black mats, and I get all this, the rubber rubs on, and it's just got black marks on it. And then I get in the shower, and I get Abby's loofah, and I rub the black dead skin off my knees, and it rubs the hair off a certain thing, and it looks.
You're pulling weird. It. You're probably pulling it out of the follicle.
Right there, right under my kneecap, on one side.
Well,
it's like I'm kneeling. I'm praying. I'm proposing to every woman in the world on one knee. You know. So I mean, no, that is that. You know what? That is something This is what I like about getting older. I really do enjoy this. I'm not worried about saying, "Oh, I didn't know that," or "I was incorrect about that." Because that's what the life's all about.
Or you're not shy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that was incredible. I found that very incredibly interesting.
Well, I'm glad I could contribute.
Yeah.
Through my own.
Maybe we should have called this one pubic hair.
Pubic hair. Yeah.
Gargoyle pubic hair.
Well, you know about like when you're shaving, like for certain, you can get an ingrown hair.
Mm-hmm.
That can happen, especially all the curly hairs, and the pubic hair are the curliest of them. If you don't do it right, you can get an ingrown hair if you do a thing, and you can get an infected ingrown hair.
Yeah.
Holy crap. I can't imagine that. Why would I still do it but I never had it.
I will tell you that it never occurred to me about people with gray hair and that your gray hair would also be transitioning. Like you see older guys with gray chest hairs.
I got
But my mom made a comment. Hi, FG.
My pubes are gray.
My mom made a comment one time. She goes, "I knew I was getting old when I had a gray." She's horrible, but we're explicit, right? So she said she had a gray pussy hair, and I was like, "Oh."
Did your mom want that? Did Gloria want?
Gloria
announced that she had.
She had
Gray pussy hair?
She had gray pussy hair. Now I'm sure she's at the point where it's probably all gray.
And Howard Stern wouldn't even say that about his mother.
Right?
You know that?
But that's his mom, and she's going to probably text me about it on Thursday when we post this one, and she'll giggle because she likes that. But, I mean, she dyes her hair on her head like a light brown or like a sandy brown.
She doesn't go all the way?
But she's
just for men. Just for men. That's all you need. Just for men for your pubes.
Oh, so she could just use just for men on her pubes.
Just for men on her
pubes.
Just like and if you want to just wax it.
It's like her...
It's just temporary because once the guy's down there, this is wax. You're gray down there. Well, I'll just keep going. Right? I'll just go finish the job.
Here's to you, Mom, with your gray pussy.
Here we go. Yes. Let's toast that.
Toast to Mom.
To a brave woman.
To a brave woman.
Yeah, a frontier woman.
She's going to call me a fucking
Get her a merkin. Get her a merkin.
A merkin?
Yeah, a light brown merkin.
A merkin? Oh.
You know what a merkin is?
The merkin is a wig, right? A merkin?
It's a pubic wig.
It's a pubic wig. Oh,
you did that, right?
No, that's
there's a pubic wig. They use that. They were using in movies all the time. That's
for people that have no.
No, they do it to simulate if they're in their 70s.
Oh,
1970s, not 70s.
Ooh. Like 70 years old.
Oh God.
So my mom's 71. Mom, do you have a merkin?
I did. The worst scene, the nightmare scene is that I think about is from the Jack Nicholson movie. The one, The Shining, where he goes into the room and it's a beautiful... The first woman that got out of the tub, the young, naked woman, wasn't that good looking. She was kind of weird looking, her short hair and the thing. And then she turns in, thank God, it was just a horrible, cancerous, sword woman, old woman. He's hugging her and all of a sudden there's big sores on her back and she's laughing. She has like 5 teeth.
Okay, now I really want to know where they get the hair for the merkins, okay? Because when you get a wig and you go to, like, people like me, like a really long hair, you can cut it off.
They get it from Lhasa Apso dogs.
Do they?
Yeah.
Really? So it's not like
I just
there's
made it
people
up.
that...
I just made it up. I figure if you say something with enough authority, I know exactly where they get it from. Lhasa Apso. They simulate human pubic hairs perfectly when they're walking around.
Are there people out there that grow up their pubes so long that they keep them like in ponytails?
Locks of love? Locks of pubic locks of love? And they go, honey, I'm going to shave. But I'm going to donate my pubic hair to someone that doesn't have any.
It's for the merkins.
No, it's for merkins. And in India, they're still into that. And there's some people with alopecia that would like to have pubic hair. And you're a dark one. And our daughter's prized blonde hair would go very far in China.
I wonder how picky they would be about collecting the merkin hair, right? Oh, yes, you could use it for beard hair as well, right? But maybe that's what it is. So you got to talk to Luke about that. Maybe
what was that with them? It was in a movie that someone had a pubic hair beard. Jackass. Oh, yeah.
But I wonder if they're as picky about it because, like,
you got to watch it first.
If you want to donate your hair, my friend Shannon has done it a few times, but it has to be completely natural. There can be no dyes, no colorant, no nothing. You can never have had a perm. You have to just let your hair be natural. Yeah. They won't even take it.
I'm trying to get Sky to do it because Sky's hair is getting long.
Yeah, but they won't even take it unless you leave it like 100% perfectly natural. All right, so I wonder if they're the same way about pubes. Well, I'm sorry, but I can tell that you...
No, not really. Why would they be?
That you've highlighted your pubes.
Like, they go, it's dyed. Like Kellyanne Conway.
Kellyanne Conway?
Yeah, Trump thing.
Yeah.
She's got brown pubes. I mean, yeah, right, they're going to be turning gray soon, but she's got brown pubes. Yeah, I bet it. I could tell by looking at someone like, that has to be the worst part.
Yeah, but even somebody...
I mean, that's if you have it. So, I guess if you dye your hair, I remember one of my girlfriends said, I'm not going to shave anymore. And I said, were you going to dye your hair back to regular color?
Well...
I mean, I don't care if you're going to be with another guy. They're going to automatically know you're not...
But you know that people that have like naturally blonde hair don't usually have like white blonde pubes.
No, but it's lighter. It's not like lighter. Dark brown.
Yeah, but it's not like...
I've been with some strawberry redheads that were red.
Well...
They had red carpets.
Yeah, I mean, of course.
Deep red carpets. What?
Did the drapes match the carpet?
Right.
Yeah, no, I said that to a girl. So someone said carpets match the curtains and goes, who has carpets anymore? And I go, the woman said that and they go, she was like 50 years old.
It's women of a certain age.
No, she was 50 when I said it like 20 years ago.
Oh, my goodness.
And I said, well, your daughter doesn't. That was awkward. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mrs. Gallagher.
Sorry, Mrs.
Oh,
my gosh.
No, 30 years ago, they still had them. 30, the transition started in the 80s from my extensive research.
So how would you go about that if you went into the doctor's office? You'd be like, okay, well, I have an ingrown pube, and it's infected and horrible.
That's
and
it, just like
right.
you would a gynecologist or a urologist.
Right. But thank goodness it wouldn't be the vet receptionist working there. Remember when I talked about that?
Oh, yeah, when you got to go and tell them, and you're, oh, fuck. I get to, I have a problem. Ooh, I would just go. I would just say, I have an ingrown hair on my balls. I was going to cut to the chase. You got to get it taken care of, right?
And then you got to be
you can't beat it.
quiet about it.
And no pun. You can't beat around the bush.
Right. So,
right? No.
So at the vet, I take my dog to the vet, and the lady that's working reception, which is funny because now they're looking for a receptionist. They've been hiring for our local vet. And
Dr. Bailey?
No.
Which
one? Little further south.
The
in Island
Hammock?
Hammock, yeah. So they're advertising for a new receptionist. Well, I'm in there this one day, and I can't remember the lady's name. It started with a D, Donna, Diana, something. And she's answering the phone, and the things that she says, first of all, are so loud that it's just echoing everywhere. Like, there's no...
Did you tell you about this last week?
Yeah, there's no discretion whatsoever.
What kind of stuff
right?
did she say?
So, of course, she's talking to a woman on the phone, and you can tell what, the woman is saying because of her answers. And she's like, okay, well, what's going on with her? All right, well, is she fixed, or can she still reproduce? And she's saying these things super loud throughout.
Perfectly fine. Perfectly fine.
Right.
But if it was in a regular office, that would have been fucking great.
Okay, well, how old is she? Of course, another question.
Oh, yeah, and she said 12?
Right.
Does she have sex a lot?
Has she already had any babies or no? Is she done? Like, keeps asking her all this stuff. And then she goes, what color is she? And I lost it. I'm like, okay, you know what? This poor little Shih Tzu that the lady was talking about on the phone, whoever this Donna was, can never go work at the actual urgent care because you can't ask those kind of questions.
No, you can't.
And you can't be that loud. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, really? So you have an ingrown hair on your nutsack?
Yeah. Oh, is it a male? Does he still have his balls?
Did he try to squeeze it?
Does he still have his balls?
Does he still have his balls?
Yeah.
Or does he cut his balls off?
Does he hump your leg?
Does he hump a lot?
Yeah.
Does he like the pillow? What does he hump?
Yeah.
Tell me what he humps.
Does she squirt? Does she squirt a lot? That would be really sick. Inappropriate.
Think of how funny of a skit that would be to have like the vet receptionist go work at the urgent care receptionist. I'm just saying SNL, if you guys are listening, because you should probably be listening. It would be a great skit.
Oh, my God, that would be a good one.
Right?
Perfect. But it'd be the only one incident. He goes, oh, listen, I worked, the person would come and says, I worked extensively at an emergency room in a hospital.
Right.
And then all of a sudden they didn't tell what kind of hospital. It was an animal hospital.
Have you squeezed her anal glands?
Yes.
Why does she smell so bad? Oh, my goodness.
Do they use manual manipulation to use the...
You're supposed to put the shower curtain up when you squeeze the anal glands, ma'am, so it doesn't squirt in your face. Like,
oh my God!
Imagine.
Do they do that? I never heard that one.
And basset hounds. I
they
believe.
Got to squeeze the anal
basset
glands?
hounds and what's Wayne and Tina's little dog?
What is it like? It's like milking a cow.
It's like, well, I guess so. But they're like a small bumpy gland.
You do it just
you squeeze them, and
so they don't do it anymore.
They still
get rid of it.
They still you have to do it regularly when they get groomed. So you have to squeeze them and squirt it out, like their anal glands. It's part of breeding.
Any type of anxiety, anything, and they will rupture, and it.
And then, or they'll right.
And it is horrific.
Yeah.
You can't see the look on my face, folks, but that was, oh my God, that's so horrible. I love animals. I really do. I mean,
But yeah, Schnauzer.
dude,
yeah.
wolves don't have that problem, do they?
I don't know. It's all with breeding, is what they said. Like there's some dogs that have problems, like with their eyeballs popping out and stuff like that. It's all the different breedings that they've done over the years, and it screws them up. It's just like the Royals.
A purebred dog is just like a Royal. It's an inbred animal,
right?
So they tend to have
weird
issues
yeah.
because the bloodline is not deep. So I have a as close to being papered pit bull as you can have.
Right.
He luckily doesn't have any issues other than he's getting gray, but when he goes to the vet, he has to have his...
Does he have to get his butt squeezed?
...done, and you can tell when he's overdue because it starts to bulge at the back.
Yeah, and like the little, it's like, it looks like pockets kind of around the butthole.
Yeah.
Like a dog butthole, but you have to squeeze it.
Butthole,
but it doesn't
pockets.
like shoot out in one shot.
Right.
It's like a nipple that's like nursing. It has like multiple.
Nicking an ingrown hair.
Really?
It's gross.
Well, I think this is probably...
we talked about...
For disgusting,
dog
it's, on a scale, that's 9.
This is gargoyle.
But it was... Yeah, it was.
This is gargoyle.
You know what? It's appropriate.
And
I'm proud to put my stamp of approval on this.
Stamp.
Butthole, gland squeezing, everything here.
Yes.
So, I did an interrogation last night.
You did? Who did you interrogate?
I can't say.
Okay.
I can't say. Someone that you've met, and they're involved with the murder.
Okay.
And someone asked me to ask questions, and I waited for the second drink, and I just blurted it out and I asked a question. How do you know so and so, and what do you know what happened? And they just started talking. And the people at work, someone said, "Holy shit, Jim. Why in the hell did you ask that person that question?" I said, "Well, someone asked me to find out the information for them. Not the authorities or anything like that. They didn't tell me. I'm going to wait. The next time I ask them, and hopefully they don't listen to podcasts."
Right.
I don't think they do.
Probably.
Guy lives on a boat.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask him. I'm going to wait. I'm going to give him 3 drinks, and I'm going to ask him straight out.
Yeah.
Right in the middle, I'm going to start talking about something, and all of a sudden say, "Hey."
You're talking about the one that was behind the VFW, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what's nice? We don't have that large listening audience down here that they're going to know this yet.
No.
And I'm going to do that this weekend.
That'll be cool.
Yeah, and I'll inform you people. You know why? Because I'm not part of the law enforcement agency, so I can do whatever I want.
You're not on the jury?
An independent citizen can do practically whatever they want. That's why whenever someone gets evidence, if they broke into someone's house and got evidence, it could be used. You know that? Mm-hmm. If you're not an agent of the state.
Right, because then you're not expected to...
I was burglarizing the house, and it came across evidence of a crime that was much more serious than the crime I was committing.
Right. Well, of course,
and
because
you can tell
don't have to
this.
follow a protocol for an enforcement officer.
But they're also going to drop the lesser of the two.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll be like, okay, well...
Yeah, he goes like this.
We'll drop your burglary to get that murder.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and if you volunteer it first, holy shit. I mean, there's guys, I've heard this before. Independent private investigators did it. They admitted their crime on purpose, but it was done to solve a case.
That's just like the lady who had her husband killed.
What?
You read that one about the lady? There's a lady from Florida. I don't remember what her name is, but she had... she was having an affair with her husband's best friend, and years ago, and her husband would go to Tallahassee to go duck hunting. Does that sound normal? Tallahassee.
The one where the guy killed the other guy?
This is what I'm saying. So she's sleeping with the guy's best friend. He goes out to go duck hunting on Seminole Lake.
With the best friend? And
he goes by himself. The best friend knows, of course, where he goes. The guy goes out there to go fishing, or go duck hunting, and never comes back. And they just assumed that he got eaten by alligators, and then 10 years down the line, the guy's mom is still fighting to try to get some kind of answers, because she was like, it was too cold that time of year.
That isn't the same one I know. That's a good one.
Alligators would have never eaten him, would never have attacked him because it was too cold.
Mm-hmm.
Then they find his waders in the water. They have no bite marks, no nothing in it. And this is now 10, 15 years have gone by. This lady has now since had him declared dead, collected $1.75 million in insurance that he got through his best friend's insurance agency, which is now her husband.
Wow.
So she decides she's going to divorce him 20 years later, whatever. She's going to divorce him. So he kidnaps her because he's terrified that she's going to go to the police and tell the police that he is the one who actually shot her old husband in the face and then buried him in the mud at Seminole Lake. Wow. So the guy shot him in the face with a shotgun. So the guy goes in to get arrested for this, attempted kidnapping or kidnapping of his soon-to-be ex-wife. Yeah. And he says, I'll tell you right now, you drop all of the charges. I'll face the kidnapping charge, but I'm going to tell you what I did to that guy. And that's all they charged him with, was the kidnapping of the ex-wife. Because he kept her and bound her up for a few days, whatever, before she got out, whatever. So he was like, she hired him as, that was her lover that she was sleeping with, her husband's best friend. Yeah. He went up there, shot the guy, Williams, I think his last name was Williams, shot the guy.
Was he a doctor?
In the face. I don't remember. No, he wasn't. I don't think he was a doctor. I could find out. But
was he a finance manager at a sport?
I would really hope not. But so basically this lady now has been tried, and she's after $1.75 million in life insurance, has blown it, married the guy that killed her husband for her, now tried to divorce him, he kidnapped her, and now she's in prison. She's going to jail for the rest of her life for it.
How old is she now?
Gosh. I mean, older now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find out.
Was it worth it?
Yeah,
was
right?
It worth it?
Is that what you really wanted? Like, that's crazy.
That is, I mean, to go and be in love with someone and be able to do that to another human being.
Right.
I mean, can you really love somebody?
Denise Williams. That's her name.
Denise Williams?
Denise Williams. Her husband's name was Brian. Years ago. Yeah, so police thought that he was eaten by alligators back in 2000.
Wow.
So 19 years ago,
was she
right?
high?
No. So Brian Winchester was the best friends that Brian Winchester.
Winchester shot a guy in the face.
Yep. So
Ironic.
he confessed to shooting and killing Mike Williams in 2000. And yeah, and then he went, of course, later on and married her. But of course, Winchester was an insurance broker.
I always thought when someone, I took the insurance test up in Pennsylvania. I had an insurance license, and I could. At the end, when people wanted to buy a large insurance policies for their spouses and stuff like that, I was always, they said you should always have like 4 years of income, 5 years. Oh, maybe. And guys said maybe 10 years of income. It's 10 years of income. That's retirement, right? 10 years of income, 500,000, 600,000, 750,000. If someone's they're used to making like $30,000, $40,000 a year, I go, oh, well, that's kind of shaky. If you're not on a stable ground after 3-4 years after someone died, you're not going to make it. So, but
yeah,
how did we end up with that?
I don't know.
That's a good one, though.
We do that, though.
That's a dream. The guy was shot in the face.
Yeah.
At least he didn't have to worry about growing a beard again. Yeah. With a shotgun.
It's craziness.
That
and then, of course, after he finally told
Brazilian
them,
wax.
He told them where he buried him, and that's where they found his remains.
Wow, in muddy ground.
In the mud.
Okay. Well, listen, we'd like to ask you, if you want to hear more of this sick shit, leave a review on iTunes. Or Spreaker. iHeartRadio. Stitcher. Yeah, Stitcher. We're on all those. We're on Overcast. Overcast is a big one, too. Stitcher. Apple Core Media, whatever that means. But it'll raise our profile, and we'll get exposed to that. The mythic 0.1%. God, if we can get to 1%, I think we have an international... I hope to appeal. We're not jingoistic, so there's no reason for us to not appeal to people that aren't in the United States, as long as you understand our English, right? I may bring a Farsi translator, but if we can get that Iranian listener back, I'd like to say hello to them again. Yeah. They haven't, got that?
No.
Okay, well, this is Jim. I'd like to thank Damon.
Thank you.
Jenna Kelly.
Hello. Goodbye.
And we'll be seeing you next week. Take care. Wait, music.
Switch to Sprint and save 50% off family lines with unlimited military plan. Plus, enter to win Sprint's $50,000 sweepstakes. With all that money, you could save for your family's future or pay off debt. Picture the possibilities. For rules and how to enter, visit sprint.com/50K. 50% off lines 2 through 6, unlimited basic rates, covered and offer not available everywhere, excludes taxes, fees, and roaming, subject to credit and $30 activation fee. Speed maximums, use rules and restrictions apply. No purchase necessary and 6/30/19, 18 and older, void where prohibited, paid advertisement, no federal endorsement implied.
Right now, you can get both Sprint's unlimited plan and the all-new Samsung Galaxy S10 included for just $35 per month per line for 5 lines. All you need is approved credit and an 18-month lease. No trade-in required. Visit a Sprint store, sprint.com, or call 800-SPRINT-1.
Phone $15 a month after $22.50 a month. Credit apply within 2 bills. If canceled earlier, remain a balance due. Unlimited basic after 6/30/20. Pay $32 per month per line for 5 lines with auto pay. Data deprioritization during congestion. Speed maximums. Use rules and restrictions apply.